Most people, when they wake up in the morning, start thinking about their problems. Those problems are connected to specific memories, and those memories are linked to certain people and things. Your brain is like an old tape recorder that keeps playing the same tape over and over again, every single day. If your brain is a record of the past, then the moment you begin your day, you're actually thinking in the past and living in the past. Each of your memories is connected to an emotion, and emotions are the final product of past experiences. So the moment you recall your problems, suddenly you feel sad, uncomfortable, or experience pain. The way you think and the way you feel creates your state of being. In other words, it shapes your personality. If your entire state of being, when you start your day, is rooted in the past, then sooner or later your past will become your future. For example, something happened yesterday that made you angry. Today, you wake up and think about it again, and you feel the same anger. If you continue doing this for 2 days, people think you are just having a bad day. If you do it for a week, people say you are moody. But if you keep repeating this process long enough, anger becomes part of your personality. You become known as the person who is always angry. So, as you can see, your thoughts are connected to your destiny. That means if you keep thinking in the past, you will unconsciously recreate the same life that you don't even like. Usually, it goes like this. You wake up and pick up your phone. You check Instagram, look at WhatsApp, read a few emails or messages, then scroll through the news. Now you feel connected to everything familiar in your life. Then you enter a set of repeated behaviors. You get out of bed on the same side, go to the bathroom, drink your coffee in the same favorite mug, take a shower, get dressed, and drive the same route to work. When you arrive, you see the same people who push the same emotional buttons. When the day ends, you rush back home to repeat the same cycle again tomorrow. This becomes a routine. And a routine works just like a computer program. At that point, it's not you who runs your life anymore. Your subconscious program is running it. 95% of who we are by the age of 35 is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a program. So with the conscious mind, only 5%, you say, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free. But your body is being run by a different program. You are actually putting your 5% conscious mind against your 95% subconscious mind. It's like putting an ordinary man in a weightlifting competition against an Olympic champion. No wonder it's so hard to create change, and you fall back into the old program, recreating the same life. So how can you begin to change? You must get beyond the analytical mind, because the analytical mind is what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind. And this is exactly where meditation comes in. Through meditation, you learn how to slow down your brainwaves. When you do it correctly, you can enter the operating system of the mind, where fundamental changes can be made. Most people wait for a crisis, trauma, illness, or diagnosis before they change. But Dr. Joe Dispenza's message is this: why wait for something negative to happen? You can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or in a state of joy and inspiration. Most people live 70% of their life in survival mode. They live in stress. So they are always anticipating the worst-case scenario based on their past experience. Out of the infinite possibilities in the quantum field, they choose the negative option. It's like looking at a menu with infinite choices of food and drinks, and picking the worst one. Every time you recall a negative event, you produce the same chemicals in your brain and body, as if the event is happening all over again. You send the same emotional signals to your body. Your body becomes your unconscious mind. In a sense, your body doesn't know the difference. It thinks the event is happening right now. Most people keep recreating their negative emotional states by constantly thinking about them. That's why when they try to get out of those feelings, they say, I really want to change. But the problem is, the body has become stronger than the mind. The body has been conditioned to those negative feelings for years. The body, which was once the servant of the mind, has now become the master. The moment you decide to change and step into the unknown, the body resists. The body would rather feel guilt and suffering because it is familiar and predictable. The unknown is scary to the body. The unknown is like a deep river. The body knows that if you ever make it to the other side of that river, the old self will die. So it will do everything to stop you. That's why the moment you start to meditate, suddenly your nose itches. You remember something important, or a random memory from 20 years ago pops into your head. That's your body saying, "Come on, let's quit. Let's go back to our old miserable life." The body has many tricks, and it will use all of them to stop you from entering the unknown. But the unknown is the best place to create the future. And the simplest way to enter the unknown is through meditation. Meditation and creating the future. When you reach a deep meditative state, you can begin to create your future. What kind of new life do you want? What kind of behaviors do you want to show? What kind of person do you want to be? Closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing the behaviors and experiences you want in life is the best way to build your future. If you are truly present in the moment, your brain cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. Through imagination, you are literally installing the software of your future. Now, your brain is no longer a record of the past. It becomes a map to the future. And if you keep going, you might even start behaving like a happy person. The hard part. The hardest part is teaching your body emotionally what the future will feel like before it actually happens. It is not enough to just think it. You have to feel it in your body. If thoughts are the language of the brain, then feelings are the language of the body. The body understands through emotions. If there is no feeling, the body has not received the message. It's like having Wi-Fi in your room, but keeping the Wi-Fi switch on your phone turned off. The moment you start feeling your positive thoughts, you are actually connected, like going online. And now you can download your future. That means you don't have to wait for success to feel successful. You don't have to wait for money to feel abundant. You don't have to wait for a new relationship to feel love. According to the quantum model of reality, the moment you start feeling abundance and worthiness, you are already generating wealth. The moment you start to feel it, you have stepped into your future. You become the creator of your future. That means you are no longer the victim saying, "I am this way because that person or that experience made me this way." Unfortunately, many people today are victims of their own past thoughts. But here is the truth. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean you need to act on it. On average, you have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. 90% of them are the same as yesterday. And if your thoughts are connected to your destiny, then your life won't change much. Because the same thoughts lead to the same choices. The same choices create the same behaviors. The same behaviors produce the same experiences. And the same experiences generate the same feelings. Why meditation is essential? Meditation helps you become more aware of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. The more aware you are, the less likely unwanted thoughts will slip past your awareness unnoticed. The word meditation literally means to become familiar with. So when you become familiar with the old self, your old thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, you no longer let them control you. Instead, you start creating new thoughts and conditioning your body to new emotions. If you do this long enough, those new emotions will become familiar. Creating the new self is like gardening. First, you must pull out the weeds and remove the stones. Then, you must clear out last year's plants and prepare the soil. Only then can you plant seeds. Meditation works in exactly the same way. You are preparing the garden of your mind. And it is not easy. Training your body to sit still in meditation is like training a wild animal or an untrained dog. You say, "Sit here and stay." But the body runs away. You bring it back, and it runs again. And you must bring it back over and over. The moment you begin meditating, the body says, "Hey, It's 8 a.m. We usually check emails now and get angry. But you are just sitting here doing nothing? What's going on? For years, you and your body have been angry at this exact time. And now you suddenly want to change everything? So the body starts sending signals. The body is actually craving the same predictable chemical state, even if it is toxic. Every time you become aware of what the body is doing and bring your attention back to the present moment, you are telling the body, you are no longer the mind. I am the mind. And now your will becomes stronger than the program. If you keep doing this again and again, eventually, just like a trained dog, the body sits and obeys. The moment the body surrenders. When the body finally surrenders, there is a release of energy. You move from particle to wave, from matter to energy, and you free yourself from the chains of emotions that were keeping you stuck in the familiar past. If you do this for just 7 days, you will start to notice changes in your life. You will begin to watch yourself more carefully, preventing yourself from falling back into the old, unhappy self. Of course, you must continue this process until your future reality becomes your present reality. Thank you for staying with me and Hashem until the end. In the next video, Hashem will face an even bigger challenge, and together, we'll find a simple and practical solution. Hashem thanks you for watching. Please like this video and share it with your friends so this journey can continue. Join Hashem in changing your life.